This first section will start with very basic stuff, and I call these simplified queries because, yeah, in the first lecture, basically, I'll show you how to create a free Snowflake trial account. Don't do anything on a paid account. Everything, all the queries presented here will be executed in this free Snowflake trial account that I will create with you. Yeah, you'll see me doing this, and we'll get a quick introduction to Snowflake, to the web UI that we will use throughout this course. We'll continue with simplified Snowflake SQL. So there are a bunch of improvements, very simple, but to make a select SQL query more effective already. Snowflake was implemented from scratch only a few years ago, and you'll not have the same burden that you have in other relational databases like MySQL, PostgreSQL, even Oracle, yeah, or SQL Server. They fixed already, the things that were carried on like legacy, in the other systems. And look, even for the joins, simplified joins, for instance, you're not required with an on clause, yeah. You can pass a where clause and so on. Reused expression. What does it mean? You usually establish aliases for expressions in the select projection list. Well, you can refer usually through these aliases everywhere in the other clauses, and you don't have to repeat the same expression again and again. I know there are other databases where you can do this, but I can tell you there is legacy code in most of the other relational database vendors, and you have to repeat expressions, or at that point, yeah, an alias is not working and so on. Okay? We'll talk about table functions. Yeah, most of the other vendors, they have table functions, but you should know what they are and how do you call them, because you have to wrap them up into a table, table code. Yeah. Table versus lateral, and here, yeah, we'll talk about lateral keyword. It's not a joy, but some people call it a joy, okay? But there is some two tricky formulas, and people are asking, are they equivalent or not? Well, they are, yeah. And finally, I will conclude basically this section with, they have new keywords like exclude, I like, okay? Used with select star, and used also in group by or in other clauses where you pass list of columns. Instead of specifying the columns, you can specify everything and say exclude me this list of columns. Okay, guys?